Parents, you said your mom was from the Bronx, so.
She was from the Bronx, and my dad was from Paterson, New Jersey, and then they all kind of lived in New York for a while. And then my dad he was studying paper and chemistry, so in Lee, there was a mill there. There were all these little mills up there in New England on the river, and he worked for a division of Kimberly-Clark.
I hope they pour shit in the drinking water out there.
Dude, we all...
After that gig. No, I'm kidding.
We used to say, man, if you're in a boat and you fall into that river, its acid will burn you alive. I mean,
know. They just
stunk in the summer. It was so bad. They just dump chemicals in there.
Yep.
You know?
Just wash it out
to
the ocean.
They don't do shit like that anymore, do they?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's all good water. That's why we got the
water.
The tap water.
The earth.
I know.
And the air.
I know. That's what's so fucked up about all this shit that people always talking about on social media. Like it's this big goddamn deal, like fat shaming and all of this shit. It's like, dude, those problems are so down the fucking line.
Yeah, I know.
As far as like what is going on right now.
How about the air?
Yeah.
Or water.
All of that. Yeah, all the shit you need.
There's some place in Africa in 1 month they're going to run out of water. Period.
I can't listen. I can't listen to it because there's no fucking solution. No one pays attention. And then if you try to address it, conservatives blame liberals and liberals blame conservatives, and then they just keep plowing ahead. And
they don't want to hear what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say?
Well, I don't know. I better not.
No,
I'm pretty strong about people are fucking still they're like little kindergartners still. I don't care how old you are. I don't think the world is evolving at all. Maybe with technology.
Technology it is.
But it's the same shit. I cannot believe. Like, who gives a fuck about that and who gives a fuck about that? Oh, really? You really that uptight about that? Holy shit.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
Or like, some big issues, which I won't mention, where they're squabbling. Dude, just make a little adjustment.
No, but this is the thing. Now you have to dance around because you're like, some big issues that I'm not going to remember. You're upset about this. And I know every issue that you're fucking talking about, but you can't bring it up because then you have like,
That's my point.
You have 80 soccer moms. And this is the thing. 80 soccer moms will actually make the news. Because they're going to talk about that for whatever fucking reason. So you got to. It's
going to make the news now.
You got to dance between the raindrops.
Right, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Dude, we got to get some padding on this table. Any sort of shifting of weight.
That's right. So anyway, check. So, man, I'm going to get my ass kicked right now. But I grew up in Western Mass, super liberal, super democratic. Just everybody, just when they vote Democratic, all the way down. Doesn't matter if it was Hitler. If he's a Democrat, it's on the Democratic side. I'm just blown away. I call them vicious liberals. Now,
I was living out here. I know, it's crazy.
No, but people are so, like, a real true liberal was my dad. My dad, we grew up Jewish, but my dad would listen to Hitler talk just to see what he had to say. Wouldn't yell at him. He would talk, and then he'd tell Hitler that he was fucked in so many words. But he would at least talk.
What do you mean? He knew the guy, or he's watching the tape?
No, but I'm just saying
he's talking to the TV.
He's a true liberal.
I was just thinking, that was the ultimate, fucking Odd Couple movie. Were they, roommates in college or some shit?
No, actually, my dad was bombing Hitler in World War II.
He was?
He was in the bombers that just leveled Hitler, But my point is, my dad was a true liberal. He would listen to anybody. Didn't matter what it is. But nowadays, it's like, I call them vicious liberals. They're more conservative and radical.
They totally are.
A true liberal is somebody who listens and will at least accept somebody else's opinion, no matter how radical it is. Liberal is your open-minded.
Accept the fact that you have that opinion. You'll listen to it and everything.
Right. But you don't, this viciousness is it's like.
No, there's destroying careers. They will just, if you had, it's basically, we're liberal, think what we think. But if you don't, we're going to go after your career. And it's no different than I remember what happened to the Dixie Chicks when they just expressed their opinion about the current president.
Yep.
And I remember Fox News was saying they have a right to state their opinion and we have a right to have, state our opinion. It's like, you didn't state your opinion. You stated your opinion, then you systematically tried to destroy their fucking ability to earn a living. That's not tit for tat.
No.
You know what I mean? So whatever.
That's what I'm saying. That's sandbox stuff. Everyone's still a bunch of little kids still. See, in my family, everybody went to college, so but at that time it's like you do. So I'll be a music major, and I was self-taught drummer, And there was this one kid in Stockbridge. It was getting better, and it's like, yeah, what are you doing? Well, I'm taking lessons from this percussionist from the Boston Symphony Orchestra, Arthur Press. Lived in not Nyack, no. He lived in Newton.
Newton,
remember Newton?
Yeah.
So And the first time, so I went, okay, I'm going to take a lesson with this guy because I was real competitive, just being a jock and all. And but I had long hair down my shoulders, so I was a hippie jock, So, and I was always playing in the bands. I was, I was really popular in high school, and I have an identical twin brother. So we both were in the bands, both on sports teams. It was
both had long hair.
Yeah, Heckle and Jekyll. We were like
did you star in Lethal Weapon at any point? That's all I'm thinking of, those two guys with the long blonde hair.
Yeah. So I go down there. I'll never forget. I go down to Newton on a bus, Greyhound bus from Lee. That's it, from Lee. But I was hungover because I had been hanging out with the varsity football team, varsity soccer team, and the cheerleaders the night before, drinking vodka on a mountain. Where they get fire, just drinking vodka.
That's a good night.
Yep. And didn't get laid, but, I was hanging with those, old, 2 years in high school. That's older chick. Right. You know what I mean? That's like big time. They have bigger tits. Everything is more developed, So anyway.
Stakes are higher.
Yeah. So I get to Newton. I'm like hung. I was in the back, probably puking in the bus. And I get there, and this is Arthur Press. This is old school. He goes, "What's your name?" He says, Kenny. Kenny what? Kenny Aronoff. He says, "What have you prepared for me today?"
Oh, no.
Yeah. What have you what? Well, do you play mallets? I'm like, "What's mallets?" He says, "Marimba, vibes." I said, "No." I'm getting smaller and smaller. Right. This is old school guy, man. This guy's hardcore. Then he goes, "Well, do you prepare a timpani piece?" I said, I don't play timpani." "What do you play?" I said, "Well, I play drum set." "Well, come on down here. Let's see you play some drum set." Puts on Spinning Wheels by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Mm-hmm. And I actually been jamming to that in my barn. I had a barn in Western Mass, and that's where we had all our rock bands. My parents we always had the rock bands rehearsing at my place. So I had a barn, and my parents loved it because the kids were at home. Even when we were smoking pot and drinking, there we were, Right. So I sit down, and in 30 minutes, he rips me off the drum set and points to a rubber black pad.
Well, how did you feel that you were playing? You're like, "Oh, spin wheel, I'm going to nail this."
I was feeling it. I thought I was good, but he didn't think so. So he puts me on the pad. Basically, he kicked my ass. And that was a pivotal point in my life. I'm like, a lot of kids would have gone, "Fuck this, man. I don't need you. I'm playing in a rock band. I'm getting laid. I'm having fun. What do I need this fucking shit?" But something clicked, and I have to say it's in my DNA that this is good for me. And my dad bought me an old set of Vibes for $300 from Carol's Music in New York. And now I had that. And
do you think your sports background gave you that made you not afraid of new information? This guy's being hard on me, because this guy seems like a coach to me.
He was totally a coach.
Yeah, you're walking in the blue chip prospect. Hey, I got this all down, and then he just goes, "You don't know shit."
Yeah, he would. No, dude, because back then, the coaches back then were like Marine sergeants. Back then, there was no hand-holding. There was no coddling. There was no entitlement.
I know.
There was none of this lazy shit.
No, they look at athletes now like they're all a bunch of date rapists and all this. They were frat boys and all that, and they totally lose the confidence that you get from playing sports, the ability to work with a group, the ability to get your fucking ass kicked and lose and shake it off, lose the quarter, win the next quarter.
Yeah.
You learn all this great stuff, but now it's just kind of, it's sort of like the nerd time. So their perspective, and they don't fucking play sports, so their perspective of it is as fucked up, to be fair, as the jock's perspective of them,
Well, you know what? While they're sitting there being entitled and waiting for shit to happen and pussyfooting around, I'm going to go over them and take what they're waiting for. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I am not going to back down on that.
That's how it works.
So, I mean, back then, it's like my parents were really sensitive and cool, but man, dude, get your ass up. There was no hand-holding or entitlement. I'm grateful for that. I
sided with the teacher. If the teacher said your kid's acting like an asshole, they would look at you and be like, "What's your problem?
Exactly.
Stop acting like an asshole." Instead of being like, "Hey, well, you can't say that about my kid."
Exactly.
Take out their cell phone video, and then the teacher has to apologize because you're not raising your kid right. Now you're dumping this douche off at school, and they have to deal with your bad parenting for 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
30 hours a fucking week. I mean, teachers are grossly underpaid.
Oh, dude, grossly underpaid. Why would you want to be a teacher? It's like you got everybody against you.
Well, not now with all these little fucking kids there, and you do anything, it seems they take out a camera, and then they're automatically right.
Dude, it's brutal, man.
I don't know.
I'll tell you.
We do sound like a bunch of old guys going, oh, my God, these kids today. But there is an element of, like, Jesus.
You know what? Fuck them.
You know what I miss? Shaking it off. Shake it off.
Okay, so check this out.
Fuck.
I really believe that people should embrace their fear, their anger, embarrassment, failure, all that negative stuff. I believe you should squeeze it, hug it, throw it away, and get your fucking ass in gear and move forward. I went from UMass to 4 years at Indiana, which is the #1 school. That school, my teacher was like a Navy SEAL commander. It's like he would try to wash you out because the school was #1 and had to keep that status. So anybody who was not capable, they would wash you out. He would just... I'm going to get to the embarrassing moment. This guy, I'd walk in and he'd be like taking notes on the last student, and he'd hit the desk, which meant, give me your lesson book. He'd open it up, be still taking notes. He'd look at it and go, oh, F sharp harmonic minor, 2 octaves, start with your right hand, 3, 4. And I'm still standing there with my book bag. He looks at me and goes, are you happy here at Indiana University, Kenny? Do you want to stay here? I'm like, holy shit.
Jesus
Christ. When you walk in, you get your ass in front of the instrument and be ready to play. You never know when a conductor's going to walk in and say, 3, 4, let's go. You have to be ready. He was training you to be a Marine. And this stuff carried forward into my entire life.